Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is another edition of Perth by Night. We find ourselves in the domain of Prince Antoine Laurent de Lavoisier. It is the most prestigious university in Perth, and the kindred among within the area find themselves walking a predestination path towards the one of the larger auditoriums within the university compound. They when they arrive within the area, they see a desk. Behind the desk, there is for Miss Martin a ghoul she has seen before. Um Also, there are other ghouls around. Mr. Harris has seen one of the ghouls within another meeting he had with the prince when he wasn't prince yet.
The prince receives a telephone call.
No, it was the princess who receives the telephone
Oh,
call.
wow.
Um, Otherwise, you guys are to be asked to be relinquish any weapons. And when everyone is patted down and we're going through the metal scanner and the works, you end up in what seems to be a very cold auditorium. However, since we're all undead, we have less reaction to it. However, it still seems to have an eerie feeling to it. As we enter on downwards, you can see the prince sitting behind a desk where normally teachers sit to teach class. Behind him, on his left side, is Simeon Musketeers.
It what?
That would be me.
Oh, okay.
And the scene begins.
Sure. I reckon if you've ever felt the little hairs on your ends just stick straight up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Harris? Miss Martin? Miss Martin, I see you have an unknown guest, but I can guess who he might be. Would you like to be so kind and to introduce your grandchild?
Grace bows and she smiles as she says, well, my prince, it is a great pleasure to introduce to you the child of my child, Mr. Jonathan Bagger.
Good evening, Mr. Jonathan.
Jonathan, I'd like to introduce you to Prince Antoine Laurent de Lavoisier.
Jonathan will go ahead and bow his head oh so slightly and repeat the words, Prince, I present myself.
Yes, Mr. Bagger. I'm sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. It sounds like beggar, but I mean what I mean.
Hold on, I need to make self-control at that.
Oh, fuck.
Well, I'm trying to be explanatory, but yes, you can frenzy to your prince. That's okay.
No, he's self-controlled.
Smart man. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. So I will call you Jonathan for now, not to say offense. Mr. Jonathan, next to your lovely, healthy, lustrous skin, what do you bring to Perth?
Well, I reckon I bring a bit of experience to the table. I've been up in the States, the Northern American states. I was there in Colorado during the time of the rushing of gold. It was a fairly lucrative opportunity. Spent a few decades in there. Decided to shove off for a bit, though. Want to reintroduce myself to the common wares, the short game, if you will.
Very interesting. I knew a friend once who lived there within that area. He built some kind of dam. However, you are here because you have been invited by Miss Martin. Because you are invited and because you are technically a guest at this moment, I would love you to know that at this moment Miss Martin will take full responsibility for you. I know you have proven yourself worthy. However, since she was so very eloquent in introducing you and keeping you within this city, I think a little responsibility shows some class.
She is certainly a very classy lady. See? No arguing from here.
I think it will be a very one of my most simple jobs to be responsible for my grandchild. I'm pretty sure he won't need it.
Very well. Then, Mr. Jonathan, welcome to Perth. However, before you leave my establishment, do you have a place to call yourself your domain?
My domain? They're my domain right now? Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, I've been looking at some of the territory you got. You got some pretty good prospects. Got one or two offers from in there broken mirror types. You seem fairly convincing. I like the cut that jips. Jips. I think I declared something over there. And yes, out of character, Jesse, I do have a dot domain.
Very well. Then I'm sure you get a letter for me. I mean,
Yes,
everyone who wants domain within the city has a letter of recommendation.
that'd be might kindly and right proper, I say.
Very well. Hand the letter over to Simon, please.
And the letter is handed over.
Simeon will take it.
Now,
Yes,
before we get all, if you don't mind me speaking, Sir Prince,
by all means.
something I like to do whenever I ever cross thresholds into another prince's domain in their city state, they always ask me, do you know the traditions? And I've always come into a bit of a festivity to just go ahead and list those out, if I may be so eloquently stated.
Well, if you want to prove you know them, I will not hold it against you. Please, you may have your moment.
Thank you for indulging me very kindly. The first and greatest of all the traditions that I have ever known, the tradition of masquerade. Do not reveal thyself to those not of your kind. It is one of our greatest sins to trespass on that tradition, and if it is done so, my vampire kindred has forsaken their own unlife. The second tradition, one the second greatest and most best practiced of our traditions, is that of domain. He who holds domain and respects domain and control it and maintain it is king in his own damn domain. Prince, you have domain over the great city, yet you give fiefdoms to the rest of us all, and that is of a great tradition and respect. The third tradition, that of progeny, that keeps us going, and a vampire kindred should only ever embrace when he has the okay and leave from his elders to do so. Fourth tradition comes out of the third tradition, that of the accountant. The child shall be the responsibility of his sire, or if the sire is not appropriate, the one who takes care of it. The fifth tradition of hospitality, thou shalt honor one's own domain in foreign cities. This is the tradition I practice right now, and I find it a very hospitable one. It keeps us from instantly, it keeps us from having too many accidents. And the sixth, that of the supposed accident that may occur is the tradition of destruction. It is the right of the assigned elders to determine who is to be destroyed.
Very well. I like the fact that you named the traditions very well.
Thank you very kindly. It was my pleasure to do so.
I would like to make sure that I can trust you to keep others from breaking the traditions.
It is not a practice that I am unfamiliar with, but yes, indeed.
Then by all means, welcome to Perth. We will have a talk again about the tradition and how to uphold these.
Jonathan Bagger will sidestep back to where his grandsire is.
Miss Martin, I want to congratulate you on the most fortuitous grandchild.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very proud of him.
Well, I think your child has done an excellent raising. I think he comes from good stock.
Of course he does.
Mr. Harris, would you indulge me, please?
Harris steps forwards. So, I take it you've already received my missive, so you're aware that we have a harbinger of skulls in the Old York Hospital.
Yes, I have heard about it.
I spoke to him. He does not speak English that well, but he speaks very fluent Latin. And he says he himself belongs to the Ashira, but that while he is here, he's willing to follow all of other traditions, and of course he wishes to meet with the prince, as hospitality is a important one of the traditions.
Well, I'm very happy you came to me with this. It could have gone a whole lot more differently. I think I would like to meet this harbinger of skulls. Of course, when I got your message, I couldn't help myself and checked the books and checked our relations with clans and the such. And I'm very intrigued that he searched contact with you this way. It shows less Sabbat and more independent.
Yes.
But personally, I'm very interested in how he survived while the Anarchs were there, or if he assisted them at all. And if he did not, why he did not intercede when the Camarilla rolled into town.
As to that, I of course cannot speak, but I suspect he was focused on other matters.
Also, Mr. Harris, I think we owe you a debt of gratitude. You have the prince's gratitude, for I did not expect for you to distinguish yourselves in this matter so very fast, very quickly.
Now, there's something that has occurred to me as I heard of the way that the fields of influence in mortal matters were divided among the clans. One that was not actually explicitly covered was that of belief, both within the church and of various occultists.
All right. Well, to be honest, I am surprised that you found this man so very fast. But I am not ungrateful that you did. I
Um,
will meet with the Harbinger of Skulls when I do. After that, I will probably need your assistance because of your spiritual nature.
then I'll be happy to serve.
I am not done yet, Mr. Harris. Because Clan Malkavian has distinguished himself so very well, so very quickly, I am most happy to announce, especially with my Keeper of Elysium here, that you from now will be known with an Ancilla status. I will upgrade your status because I am very happy that you are part of this Camarilla, Leon Harris.
And he bows.
I will mark it in the books.
And one other thing of note, and I believe we called yourself the sheriff and the archon when this happened, but to give further detail, we found in Kings Park what had once been a holy place of the Lupines.
Ah,
That, as far as I can tell, has been desecrated by the Lupine equivalent of the Sabbat.
okay.
I believe that the various corpses are being taken care of, but that also seemed to have caused certain severe problems and potential masquerade breaches that, while not directly leading to us, would still have caused us problems.
Well, I'm again very glad for your service. I knew this because you sent me the message. We will have to see what we can do about this.
And he again nods. And
Well,
um,
yes, no, please, go ahead, Mr. Harris.
I was simply saying if there was nothing else in particular, then you know, I am glad to have been at service.
Well, I am glad too, Leon Harris. I did not forget your infamous sire for nothing. You have done very well. I personally would like people to distinguish themselves so others can forget about some stock they came from. There can be a rotten apple in the family. That does not mean the entire tree is going to be rotten. You can show the world what you're made of.
Well,
You have my blessing. And please inform your primogen, Mr. Pierce, that from now on you will have two ancillas within. Let it be known to everyone that I reward those who put themselves on the line for the Camarilla, who put themselves on the line for Perth, and show that they are willing to stretch themselves and anything around to make sure that Perth becomes a greater city. You have done so, Leon Harris. Therefore, you have my thanks. Therefore, we can show Mr. Jonathan over here that this is a growing town, a town where neonates can grow in status, in prestige, in influence, and in wealth. We are growing, and we are here to make sure that kinders get the opportunity to do so.
And Leon bows once more, a bit deeper this time, and steps back.
Very well. Mr. Harris, I will meet with the Harbinger of Earth because you have given me an eloquent report so far. But I know from your nature as advisor that the Harbingers will hold certain secrets. You will have interests within. You will have interest in those secrets because you have that touch with the other world.
Yes.
Of course, I will have a talk with the Harbinger. I will have to see what he has to say and what he has to offer Perth. And I must advise you very strongly to find the connection within a string of paths which are not of Camarilla. I understand this might sound harsh, but I do it because I want to protect you and the city from influences that are not pure, that are not Camarilla, and that are maybe Sabbat or Anarch. If the Harbinger, however, proves himself to be worthy of our trust as citizens of Perth, then we will have another talk. It is not off the list, but for now, it is very much prohibited. I hope you understand.
Oh, I do. And I will pass that along as well.
As will my herald. Citizens and kindreds of Perth, I thank you very much for your visit. And I wish you a very good evening.
And I think with that, I think we are okay to end the scene.
Yes.
All right. Thank you players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and have a good night.